All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hello, everyone out there in internet land. It's me, Matty D. Welcome to another edition of the Hang Out with Team in the Black. Here with my good friends, we have Rocky Vega down in the corner there. We have friends Raymond, Max, Juhas. We got John, and our special guest tonight, Chris Rushlow. Welcome back, Mr. Rushlow. Good to see you again,
Thank
buddy.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So tonight's going to be a very special night, a very good night. Just kind of set the tone right here, what we're going to talk about. I've mentioned earlier, seen my emails on the Facebook posts. It's about producing and non-producing, what the difference is. And I was talking with Chris yesterday, talking to him about funnels and our experiences and what we're trying to do with the team and help really explore the team. And he shared me his knowledge and his expertise in that he pretty much can do this all day long with his hands tied behind his back. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to structurally proper funnels and have them produce, which is the whole point of it. And really, once you have it right, it really doesn't matter about the traffic source, but so long as it's set up right, where people are getting to know you as a person and are responding to that, that's what they're joining for versus trying to do a different way without really knowing what you're doing in that sense. So tonight, he's going to share us with that, really how to set it up, get it right, so people know what they're getting into. Because a lot of people may know how to set the funnel, but no one really knows how to get it right so that it produces the results that you want. So with that being said, Mr. Rushlow, my friend, take it away.
Thank you, sir. All right. So I'm just gonna get right into this because, as some of you know from the old BTC days, it took me about good 30, 45 minutes to warm up, and yeah, you can see by Matt's face. Yeah. And so yeah, like Matt was saying, it's good to be back with everyone again tonight, and had a lot of fun last time. People are still talking about that last. People are calling it an epic hangout. That I just kind of showed a lot of stuff that's just not normally taught, and that's what I like to do because one thing I've noticed about this industry, and when I talk about this industry, I mean specifically the affiliate marketing slash network marketing, the affiliate marketing space, but then the network marketing space within the affiliate marketing space. So, the sub niche of network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it, and encompassing affiliate marketing, which is, essentially selling products online, selling other people's stuff. So what I've noticed about this industry in network marketing is that the people that produce, what I found for the most part, having a lot of conversations, is that not all of them, but a majority of what I see in the industry is people who essentially look at new people that come in and they say, I don't believe they can actually be capable of doing much or learn much, and I'll only believe it when they prove it to me. And so what I've seen is a lot of fluff in what you're told to do when you come into this industry as a newbie and you're looking to be able to create your residual income. You've joined Empower, you've joined whatever, and you're starting to make it happen. You're wanting to make it happen. But oftentimes it's like people tell you it's so simple and easy, and then you start out there to start doing that, and it's kind of like you're just kind of swinging in the dark. And no one really teaches the finite stuff that makes the big difference. A lot of people refer to this as called the slight edge. And it only takes understanding a few more elements than what most people understand to be very, very successful. And so, like I did in my last training, I showed people a little bit of just another level deeper about, positioning and branding that you normally just don't hear, that you normally just don't see. And what I'm going to do tonight is break down a framework for you, a framework of how funnels work and how to set this up for yourself, and then also what to say and what to do and what each one of those steps needs to accomplish. And I'm even going to give you the questions you need to ask yourself in order to create that, and the things that need to be included. And I promise you, like I've done before, you haven't seen this before. And if you've seen some of it, you've seen it from me. And if you've seen it from somewhere else, congratulations, you found one of the few people that's actually shown that to you. So hopefully that's a good enough intro to keep your attention on this, as I can see Matty D just grinning over there from ear to ear.
I I cannot wait to be at the end and be like, what the hell did I just see? Man.
It may not be as monumental as what I blew your mind with last time. Obviously, I can't hit a home run every time. But what I'm telling you right now, what I'm going to show you tonight, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the separation between what we were talking about, Matt, the producers and the non-producers, that's where it's at. This is the ability to do every single element correctly around a sales message that actually gets people to join you rather than somebody else or nobody at all. So it's actually quite simple in framework, but then when you get into the actual steps, you start to learn the nitty-gritty and really like the breakdown of it, and if we have time, I'll break down a few other things and essentially show like a selling process and then relate that to what I showed you with your frameworks and everything that needs to be accomplished, and you'll actually understand and see why that framework works so well. So not only am I just going to give it to you and show you, but you're actually going to understand why this works this way. And it was something that I went back to that I've talked with Matt about a few different times, where I've said, Matt, take a look at the sales exposures that whatever system you're using or whatever sales message you're looking at, and ask yourself, why does this work? And it started to open up new horizons. And so what I'm going to show you tonight is those new horizons. So let's get into it. A funnel. Now, what is a funnel? Most people would say, well, a funnel is something that gets people to join something. Well, you're exactly right, but there's more. So a funnel essentially consists of 4 main elements and then a few elements around that. Okay, so your company or your affiliate system, whatever you're using, does a portion of this for you, but it's your job to understand their message so that you can craft your message around that. And that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So let's look at this. We're going to look at essentially a simple flow at the moment and how this works and what it means. So first exposure, let's look at it from a psychological standpoint. You can translate this or any of these to almost whatever you want to do in your marketing. It's just, I'm going to tell you what matters and then give you examples of what it could be. So number one could be a blog post. Can you guys still hear me as I'm talking back here like this? Is it still okay? Okay, cool. This could be a Facebook post. This could be a post on any other social media site. And preferably wherever you have the most people looking at your stuff, wherever you have the most eyeballs. It may be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, it could be your blog, it could be a lot of places. What matters here and what this is your value proposal. So a value proposal is essentially where you are giving some morsel of value and setting up a framework of what people are going to learn from you and why they want to learn it from you specifically. So there's an element of your personality in there and an element of value and teaching in there. So the first part, I'm just going to go through these real quickly and then we'll go back to each one and break down individually what these are. So your value proposal is essentially your whatever it is that's going to show you your value, and that's normally the first, second, or third exposure that you're going to give someone. So theoretically, you could have other blog posts or Facebook posts that link to this value proposal. It could be your About Me section on your blog, if it's your story, because we know that your story is the most powerful thing that people can resonate with when they see that you have the same problems, that you went through the same challenges, that you have the same beliefs, that you want the same things, you have the same goals, dreams, hopes, and aspirations. And so your story, normally telling your story of how you discovered what you did, is the most powerful way to illustrate to someone else, your prospect, how it can become real for them too. Like as an example, I tell my story. I've told my story about 20 different ways and 20 different, either blog posts or ads or, and a lot of ads, I make them dark posts where they're not seen by people because a lot of people rip off my ads now. Funny enough, Kayala ripped off one of my ads and made himself a ton of money and got 17-cent leads or something like that doing the Facebook method that I taught, but he literally copied my ad. It's hilarious. And coming from someone who's made $250,000, and he said that what I taught him was going to make him another $1 million over the next year. So, and also Avram and Nikki said that. So And what I'm showing you tonight is a lot of that. So some of you have heard and seen my story selling hack, my 5-point hack, and where it essentially tells the opening, which talks about here's how I did whatever, or here's what I'm going to do, or here's how you use whatever to have this benefit, and your story of your struggle, the journey of discovery of how you found it, and then you break down in a few elements of what you found, and then the call to action. And you can do that in a lot of different ways, and I have other training on that stuff. But what I'm meaning here in your value proposal is you have elements that are about your story, but then also about value you're giving. So both, okay? And that value proposal is going to go to a capture page, okay? Landing or / lead page, capture page. So it's going to have an offer and an opt-in box where you're writing your name and email, or just email, whatever. That's number 2. Simple. Everyone knows this. But you got to make sure there's a lot of elements to making sure this landing page works properly, is in alignment and congruent with you and your value proposal. We'll get into that in a minute. But I just want to break all this down. So the next piece is once you have them opted in, once you capture their information, the next step is a bridge video. And why a bridge video? A bridge video does a few things. It sets up and sets the right expectation for the next exposure, which is normally your company sales video or whatever sales video you're choosing to use. Now, if you're making the sales video yourself, which barely anybody is at that level to understand that stuff, then normally you're just going to make a bridge video that goes to the main company sales video. So we have an awesome new funnel coming out from Empower in a couple of weeks that Mars has put together. He's one of the best in the industry, and he's the best at doing launch sequences and everything else, and he's brilliant. He's a genius, and it's going to convert better than anything. I already know it because I've seen a lot of the elements of what he's going to use. And that sales video and that process is going to work very, very well. Now, the big part here is bridge video. That's you getting in front of your client or your prospect again and setting the right expectation, establishing trust, and doing all the things necessary to where it makes this sales video work even better, okay? So let me just draw this out. This is the message, the sales video, play button, and this is your bridge video with your message up here and you talking. It's just you standing there saying, hey, thank you for opting in, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get into a lot of that in a minute. So before I move on, I just want to essentially, that's part of a funnel, okay? But I just want to quickly check in and say, hey, this is pretty simple. I mean, pretty much everyone knows this, right? I just want to check out real quick. Matt, how does this look so far?
I mean, it's smooth, it's simple, understandable. Like, yeah, for the most part, like everyone knows the basics of like value post, capture page, your bridge video, and then you have whatever sales video you want. So yeah, it makes sense to me.
Okay. Anybody else have any?
Chris?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Chris, real quick, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
So the bridge video, do you have a suggestion on the length of that?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to go through each of these in detail and talk a lot more about it. I will say right now, bridge video, just depending on how good you are, the main underline and biggest rule about a bridge video is you need to make sure that you say what you need to say. So however long it needs to be to do that. Now, number 2 is that we have found that bridge videos that are longer than 7 minutes start to lose people. And if it's one of your first bridge videos, because you probably haven't done this a lot, we recommend to stay under 5 because you'll start to lose people if you ramble on too much. And you can normally accomplish all the things that you need to do in a bridge video in 5 minutes. 7 minutes is for someone who wants to talk a little bit more about the successes they've had, people who have already had a lot of results, and they want to be able to build upon everything they're talking about. But if you're at a point where you haven't had results or success yet, and you're still figuring this all out, and you're building your funnel, and you want to get this going, 5 minutes is normally a good rule of thumb on that.
Cool.
So while you're talking about your vision and building the dream for that you have within that video, and you haven't had a whole lot of successes. I mean, obviously you're going to be utilizing stories from other people who have success stories, but is there a more effective way to kind of bridge the gap between other people's successes and whatever small victories that you've had?
Yeah, we're going to get into that in the actual value proposal structure. And then I'll also do a little bit about story ads, which is normally like how I made 90% of my money last year in story ads on Facebook. And you can take that same structure and apply it to just about anything because I've tried it on a few other things and it works just as well. Leads cost more, but the story structure is essentially the same. And to your point, Raymond, about your small wins that you've had, which may seem so small in comparison to the story of the person who has the results that you're talking about. I know there's some concern about the discrepancy between if you're talking about someone else who has a lot of success and you only have a little, that you may be edifying them, and that there is a concern a lot of the time. This comes up a lot, and this may not necessarily be your biggest concern, but it comes up a lot as a concern that you will be giving too much edification to the person who has the success, and then that person will choose to go and find that person and join them rather than you. And I have ways to fully alleviate that. And there's a few myths around that I just want to dispel as well. So we'll get into that. Okay, Raymond? He's frozen there. Hopefully he'll be back there in a sec. I want to make sure. Matt, you look like you're laughing.
Keep going. He'll be good. Just keep
Okay.
going.
All right. Looks like he's having trouble. All right. So this all makes sense. Pretty simple. And everyone's like, okay, cool, I can do that. But do you know all of the steps and the things that need to be covered in every step? And I tend to think that most people, from what I've seen, no, they don't. They haven't been taught this. So what I'll do is start with the value proposal. Before that, I'll quickly go into the content marketing real quick, and I'll break down the second part of the funnel, and then I'll go into the good stuff with the value proposal, but you need to understand the rest. So as I'm thinking this through, your blog posts have to be something that's totally in alignment with your value proposal. So normally your value proposal is going to be all about your visions and values, but your blog post may be specific about a topic. But what you always got to do in these blog posts is put in a hint or a piece of your story, of your personality, your unique take on whatever your topic is. One of the best ways in a blog post to distinguish yourself from somebody else is to dispel old myths and say, here's the way that I see it, here's what I wanted to do, here's how I see it. So if you're using content or Facebook posts where you're using value, blog posts or whatever on the front end, you've got your topic specific stuff, but then you always want to have your unique take, I know you probably can't read that, on all of these. Your own personal opinion has to be weaved into it. You can say, you know what, most people say this, but I have seen what this does, and this is why I believe this works doing it even better. This way is the old way. This is my way of doing it. This is the new way. This is the way that works even better. This is why I feel this way. This is why I believe this. So essentially you're taking everything and establishing that the status quo still exists, but you're taking it a step further. You're taking it a step beyond. You're taking it into your own personal, unique take on it, your own comprehension of it, your own understanding of it. And you tie in a lot of the stuff I talked about last time, which is your ideals and your visions and your own goals and hopes and dreams, stuff like that. A lot like what I did at the beginning of this Hangout, I was like, look, a lot of people teach you only these specific things, which is very, very, very true. But they don't teach you a lot of the other things that work, like I displayed and illustrated in the last Hangout. Okay? That's me saying, this is my way of doing it. This is the way, the status quo, and this is why I'm better, and this is why I feel like I'm onto something here. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's like most network marketers think that you can't build a relationship online unless you're like face to face. So it's like that this is why I think that is not true, because I've seen it done online time and time again. This is how people like Paul Gardner and Vic Straishaus have been able to bring in a massive amount of people. Results not typical. Because they're not typical. Blah blah blah. And come on, guys. the average network marketer is still building their business like it's the 1990s, 1980s at best, or 1980s and the 1990s at best, and it's time to move up into the 21st century.
Okay, now perfect, Raymond. Perfect. That's that. If you all can hear that right there, Raymond hit it right on the head as a perfect way to get network marketers to understand that their old traditional ways of building a business will not work anymore. And for those of you that are targeting people who are in MLM companies and speaking to that audience, that's a perfect thing that he just did. You can use that right here in one of your blog posts, and then at the end of it, you have your bridge that says, to hear my story of what I discovered and how we do this online now that works, click here. And that takes them to your value proposal, where then, Raymond, you tell your story of how you got started, the problems you faced, then you saw this particular video on YouTube or this blog post when you were searching for something on the internet. However it really happened for you, you tell the truth. Okay, this is all about telling true stories. It's just how it's presented in the right structure. And then once you do that, it's like, this is how it happened for me. I saw this post on Facebook, or I saw this blog, I read this blog post, I found this blog post, this article on the internet one day when I was searching around for network marketing because I wanted to solve this problem, because I sensed that there was more to it than just walking around belly to belly, and it seemed like there were so many people that were making a lot of money online, and I had to find out if it was real. And this is what I found out. And you can tell about your story of how you saw Dave Wood, do these amazing things, and then you got on this webinar, and he showed you how to do it, and then I chose to join. I decided to join. That's a story. You talk about your struggles, you talk about your discovery, you talk about, and then you break down a few elements of what it is and how it works, just enough for them to need to go to the next step, and then bring them to a lead capture page. That make sense?
Yeah, and that was killer, because as you were saying that, Chris, I saw a click here to buy now button pop up above Matt's head. Talk about.
I saw that. Very nice. Very nice. Well, and that's the case. So your value proposal has to include certain things. Okay? So let's break this out as to what your value proposal has to contain in order for someone to choose to take the next step. You guys ready? Okay. Simple. It has to talk about the opportunity. Okay? The challenges faced. The status quo of what most people believe. So this is also what most people believe, P in there, WMPB, what most people believe, right? This is the, hey, this is what we thought was true, okay? Status quo. And then your unique take, how you had a feeling or you thought that there was more to it, and you wanted to find out. And then it's your story, which, if you're really good, you can tell your story illustrating all of these things. You just say, look, I thought about, I've been working on my internet business for so long, or on my network marketing business, and I wanted to be able to create income so I could quit my job and be able to live the life I wanted to, be able to do the things I want to do, live where I want to live, be with who I want to be with, spend time with who I want to spend time with, do what I do when I want to do it, right? All those things, the opportunity, challenges faced. But here were the problems. Here were the things that were holding me back. I still had a job. I still didn't have enough money to be able to quit my job. And what was stopping me from being able to create this opportunity is that I couldn't find a way to get a consistent flow of income. I couldn't find a way to bring in people into my business every day that would generate enough income for me to quit my business. That's the challenges faced. I didn't know how to get around that. And then what most people said is, hey, I've been sitting around, not sitting around, but I've been running around, driving every night, trying to show plans at people's houses, hitting people up in shopping malls, talking about this to whoever I knew. All my friends won't even pick up the phone anymore or answer my calls because I'm always pitching them on something, right? And it never works. And so I'm doing all these things that people tell me to do in this industry, but for some reason, what most people tell me to do doesn't really work. Boom, you got it. And I wanted more. I had heard that there are people who were doing it online successfully. I had to find out if it was real for myself. And then I saw this ad. or I saw this blog post, I saw this article on the internet, and started to talk about, and then you tie back around to the opportunity, started to talk about all the things I could do that I always wanted to do that they told me and sold me the dream of in network marketing, but I could never find a way to do it. But then they were talking about a successful way they had found out how to do it online, and by blogging and by writing articles. And here I was writing an article, so all of a sudden it became real to me. I'm reading an article, and now I want to get involved, and I'm realizing if I do the same thing, then I'll have people that want to get involved. So all of a sudden, your story goes into your discovery, and you talk about people's successes, other people who might have shown you this. You know, I had a story where I said, look, and then I got an email from an old friend from high school, and he started to tell me about how he was starting to, you know, get leads every day on the internet. I was like, well, what's a lead? You know, he's like, that's when they give you your information. You can actually have their contact information to email them every day, offers, and follow up with them. And I was like, really? And then he was like, and then I was starting to sponsor people in my business every day. And I was like, really? Wow, can I do this too? You see, people put themselves inside your story as if they're standing right next to you, and they visualize it, and they see you talking about it, and it becomes real to them because then they visualize themselves inside the story, and now all of a sudden they're like, this could happen to me. It becomes real. So after the discovery, you have the breakdown, where you break it down. And this is where you talk about what you learned. And of course, you can't teach everything right there in your value proposal or in your story. But what you can do is give a framework, okay? Now, some of you remember what I talked about with a framework before when we were on the last Hangout. And remember when I did this? You guys remember that? That was employed, self-employed, investor. I did it backwards. And then investor and business. And that's a framework that essentially...
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect, right? And so a framework is essentially something that either has some kind of a breakdown like that, or it's like the 3 key points or the 5 key points I learned. And so here's a good example. I learned that what all I really had to do was blog daily, tell others, get paid. Or you can say, look, you know, I create content online, generate leads, send them to a sales message, follow up with them, and sponsor people, make money. And what I'm going to show you in the next exposure is a way to do that. That's simple. You don't have to teach all of it right there. It's too long to do that. And they understand that because you're just telling a story. You're telling your story of how you discovered it, and then you're validating your discovery with a quick overview, a summary, a framework, a quick, 5-step bullet points, whatever the case may be, so that it becomes solidified in their mind that what you have is real, so that they can attach meaning to it and go, oh, these 5 things. I want to know what these 5 things are. That simple. I had a story that worked for me best about 1.5 years ago that said these 3 things. I found the right mentor, I found the right system, and the right mindset. And on the next page, I'm going to show you how to get all 3 of those. And it worked like magic. So your value proposal is where most of this happens. And it needs to be, because in the next page, you're going to give them something. And suggestion, your lead magnet, if you're creating your own funnel, which at some point you want to do, right? You may not, when you're getting started and you're new, you may not want to do that right away because you want to use the default system stuff to learn what's going on, right? To see how that works. You start there, right? But then you learn this stuff, and then you have your own lead page that has your own thing. And what you could very easily do is go to Google Docs and do a quick 2-page or 3-page mini report or ebook on the 5 things with a picture or an illustration or something about the 5 things that you learned, and then have that at the end of it go to your bridge video. Or the bridge video is going to happen right after they opt in, but this can go to the end of your lead magnet, your downloadable PDF or free report, which is very easy to do, right? And the technical stuff I'll get into later about how you can do that, right? but it's real simple. You can go to Google Docs and create a doc and create this 3-page thing, and then go over to File and click Download as PDF, and it creates it as a PDF and downloads it right to your computer for you, whether you're on a Mac or a PC. It's that simple. And you can embed links into it. So at the end of your free report, you have your hyperlink that goes to the sales video. So they're going to see your bridge video that sends them here, but not all of them watch that, and not all of them watch the whole bridge video, but they will get your email with your lead magnet, with your free report that is congruent with your value proposal. It has all of, because this thing here, your lead magnet, it promises to teach all of these things. It promises to teach mostly this. It goes over a little bit of all this again to confirm that it's real, but it basically shows the breakdown of everything you talked about in your story. So it's the next progression psychologically, because someone's like, I want to know what those 5 things are. I want to know what those 3 things are. I want to know what that framework means. You promise them that and create that for them here. They opt in, they get that sent to their email. That's real simple. Set that up in your Aweber or GetResponse and have it sent to the download page, wherever you upload that to. And you can find a lot of pages on the internet to upload it if you can't upload it to your blog, which most people can. So,
quick question, Chris.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I came up with an idea, very, very, very similar to this last week, and I started putting it together of an ebook to basically talk about what I've learned in the time that I've been in with this community, and use that as a pre-frame for Empower. Now, I broke it down to where I would also create an autoresponder sequence, because I know not everyone's going to actually take the time to read the ebook. What are your thoughts on that?
So that's why, first off, 2 things. One, your ebook has to be well crafted, and we're going to get into more of that, lead magnet, and so that people do open it, and your copy and the expectation you give people have to be good, so that they do open that, and you just get better at that, and you test different headlines and different lead magnets. That's how a real professional marketer does. They test things until they find something that works. So you're probably going to create 5 versions or 10 of your lead magnet, and the content in the inside is pretty much going to be the same, but you're probably going to have a different headline of what the lead magnet or the free report or the ebook or whatever you call it is actually named or titled. And that's going to be the same thing in your email, where it's like, look, on your lead magnet, it's going to be get your free copy of quotes, whatever free report on how to make money online, or how to, be a rock star in network marketing online, or the 5 things that you need to be successful, online, or whatever the case may be, right? So go take a look at the top producer funnel in Empower in the back office, and go look at their ebook. Go download that. Go opt into it if you don't have it. Go download that ebook and go through that structure and see. There's about 7 pages there, and every page has a little morsel of teaching, and then at the end it's like, click here to sign up for the free webcast. Well, your ebook is going to be similar, where you may not necessarily have a call to action to your sales video every page, but it may be every couple pages if it's a few pages. Or if it's only 3 pages, then yeah, you're going to have a call to action on each page at the bottom. Now, so that's one thing, is not everyone's going to open that. Well, the other part is that when they opt in, they're going to be redirected to your bridge video. So even if they never open that email, here is a few tips for you. When they go to your bridge video, because if they opt in, then they're going to be redirected to the bridge video. In your bridge video, you're going to say, hey, thanks for opting in, and just set the right expectation. You say, at the end of this video, you're going to check your email, and you're going to see a book in there, and you're going to get what I promised you, the 5 things on how to blah, blah, blah. And you definitely want to go through that, because I share a lot of secrets in there. So you start selling all over again the lead magnet, the thing that they're getting, so that you build up the value so that they have to be able to open it up. So the real answer to your question, Raymond, is how do you get them to take the next step and be able to read your e-magnet, your free report or ebook or whatever the case may be for your lead magnet, or at least just take the next step, is your bridge video is confirming that everything you've said is true, You're establishing trust. You're putting your face out on camera talking. So you're building trust with them, and you're setting the right expectation, and you're giving more value and giving them the right expectation. Here's what you're going to get in your email. This is what you're going to learn, and here are the benefits of what you're going to learn in my free PDF that I gave you, and it's in your email inbox, and you can check that right after you get done watching the video that I'm going to send you in a second, that you're going to see when this video here I'm talking to you is done. I've got one other gift for you, you know, and that's essentially what you can say. You can say, because you're going to send it to the sales video, you can say, look, I have this free report or this ebook coming to you that's going to teach you all these things, but stick around because I have more for you. I'm going to show you in a video in just a moment that's going to tell you all the things on how you can capitalize on the free report that I sent you in your email. So you tie them together. This is where the bridge video is so critical. Is this making more sense, Raymond?
Yeah, just the fact of you tying, you know, that last statement, you know, of being able to, you know, at the end of the video say, on the next page, you're going to get the, you know, you're going to see how you can implement, you know, each of the 5 things I just showed you. Take action. See you there. Type thing. Yeah, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. So that's how it works. And this is the missing element. A lot of people are like, hey, I made a great lead magnet. I'm getting leads. I'm not getting sales. They're not opening my emails. Your bridge video is why. And more than likely, most people don't even have a bridge video. Because a lot of you have seen some of my training, and in the last training that I did for you guys, I talked about, you know, system responsive followings versus personality responsive followings. And the difference is that system responsive is that this is something from the company, this is something from the company, this bridge video doesn't even exist, and it goes straight to a sales video. And oftentimes, there's not even a value proposal. It just, all a company gives you is a capture page, a sales page. That's about it. And sometimes they give you swipe copy. That's system stuff. That can give you a certain expected return on investment for a certain amount of time until you reach market saturation, or at least the niche that you're reaching or speaking to. And the difference between that and personality responsive is here you have personality. Here you have unique personality and take and your story and all the things that you talked about here that line up with all of this. So it's congruent. It's in alignment. So they trust it more. And it's more about you rather than just the benefit they're going to get. Because now they're resonating with you and the solution you have for them, not just the solution. And with you there, that's more powerful because it really still comes down to this. We say this in the industry a lot, but a lot of people don't know where to apply it, and they don't know how to use that properly. People don't join companies. They join people. So why are you trying to let a system do it for you? That's why it's not working for you. You have to have your personality in there. That's why someone's going to join you. They understand that this company is going to give them the same stuff with whoever. They want to join someone who they feel they can learn from, who they like their personality, they feel like they connect with because they've had the same similar types of struggles and problems in their life, and they can relate to them. Because when you have those same problems, and then you say, you know what, I had these struggles, I had these problems, I had to deal with, you know, being able to, you know, I never had enough money at the end of the month, you know, and so I was always short, and I was putting stuff on credit cards, and this didn't work for me, and I have a kid that, you know, wants to be able to play in this soccer league. And I got to pay a premium for him to be in this league. And that breaks my heart that I can't be able to pay for him in his soccer league. And that I have to keep going into debt in order to make my kids happy. And that's going to run out one day. And that scares me. I got to find a way to solve problems. Well, you know what? There's someone else out there who's a parent that has a child that wants to do something like that. And that feeling is what matters, is that I couldn't help my kid be all he could be. The thing that he wanted to do, that would make him happy, that would help him grow, to get better at, that I wanted to be proud of him and see him do, or my child or my daughter in gymnastics or soccer or whatever the case may be. She may be a kickboxer. Whatever the case may be, it's the feeling about how you couldn't be able to do that. And that person goes, you know what, I had that same problem, and if you got a solution for me, I want to hear it.
That just made me want to pull this out all over again, Chris.
No, seriously, like I was sitting there like, I'm just gonna buy now again.
You know, the most important thing, if you learn anything from me tonight, understand this framework, but understand this. Status quo, here's what people say, here's what most people believe, here's the myths. Here's what I believe. Here's what I wanted. Here's my unique take on it. Here's why I feel I'm going to have success in this. Tie it to you. People join people for that reason, and almost exclusively that reason only, believe it or not. Because the people that come in just from a system also fit into the statistic that the system says the retention is, which is about 47 days. And you want them to stick around a little longer than that. I've had people that have been with me since day one and still won't leave, despite all of the issues, as all of you know, that Empower has had, where they haven't had things that always worked, and we couldn't figure out what was going on, and then we discovered the problem, and we're fixing it. And through all of that, I've had people stick around with me. Why? Because my vision, because my unique look and take on the industry, and why I'm doing this, and why I'm here. People want to be around that. They don't care what the company is. They're going to join people. You guys understand that? You can insert whatever, and crazy enough, like most leaders won't tell you this, but the reason they don't teach you this is leaders, most of the time in this industry, a lot more in Empower don't do this. A lot of them teach this and similar stuff to this, right? But a lot of them want to do all this for you so that you're dependent on them so that you never leave. And now I'm going to go back into my unique take thing right here with this example. Because a lot of people say that most people aren't going to be able to do it themselves, so I'm going to do it all for them and promise them everything and promise them the world and say I'm going to sell for you, I'm going to create and promise all these results for you. And then when it doesn't work, they're going to be like, well, shit, I can't go anywhere because I don't know anything else. And they're doing this stuff for me. They have my sales videos. They have my capture pages. I can't build all this on my own because they've done it all and they've never taught me how to do it. So it keeps you dependent. Well, guess what? Here's my unique take. Here's the take part, because I'm serious about this, right? This is real life stuff. All I'm doing is mapping out and framing what happens in real life and how movements start and how followings happen and how things sell and how people buy stuff and choose to join people and follow people. That's what this is about right here. So this stuff people don't teach you because they're afraid. They're fear-based mentality, scarcity, and they don't want you to leave. They think that if they can keep you dependent on them, you'll stick around. Guess what? I teach my people everything. I tell them, you know what? You could go anywhere to any company, use all of this, insert new company. I'm not afraid of you to leave, because you're stupid if you're going to leave, because I'm going to continue to teach you more and more and more. You won't want to leave. My vision of where I'm going, you want to go with. And how do I know that? Because all of my marketing over here, I made sure they are the people that want that same vision. I filtered them through my content and my own personality. They wouldn't get this far. They wouldn't get this far unless they didn't resonate with my value proposal and my topics. Does that make sense? So have authority when they get to this point. Okay? Make sense?
Crystal clear.
Cool. All right.
Now, one of the issues that I have, and this is something I'm working on, is that I and this may be just a self-limiting belief, is that especially in my marketing, I want things to happen so quickly that I feel, especially when I get a team together, because most of them, if not all of them, have quit again. Because I've built teams and they've quit, and rebuilding, then they've quit. But I think, and I will be going through the team building for the team building formula to refine this. But I think I get impatient. I have a servant heart. I want to see people produce and have success, have the results, and and also, excuse me, Mom, I'm on a hangout. Thank you.
Ray, we never like you.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah. Anyway, anyway, I want to see them have success, and that I'm kind of impatient for them to get busy and produce and do the work. Go through the products, well, purchase the products first, and then go through them and implement. So I think that kind of shows through. He's like, I'm like, come on, guys, let's go to work here. So I think in the process I kind of alienate. And that may be that's like I said, that's something I'm working on, and it probably I think it may be pushing people away a little bit.
I would venture to say that, well, for one, when you go through the team building formula, this is going to answer a lot of those questions. However, let me give you my take on this, because me and Dave have had some conversations about this stuff. Him and I are vastly different, although in a lot of ways we're the same. And he has a certain brain for understanding systems and processes, which I understand as well, yet I have a social component of sensing things and intuition with people to understand people, and I've taken that to apply that to Empower, helping Dave, and it's helped him a lot. However, where he's coming from, he has a different skill set of strengths, and social adaptability and understanding this with teams is not necessarily something that, he'll check to me on a lot of this, is what I'm saying. He'll defer to me and say, okay, well, what do you see, Chris? Because my retention is the highest, and I've got the highest upgrade rates in all of Empower Network out of all of the affiliates that have ever existed, and there's a reason for that. Now, what I would say to you is, one, there is a natural attrition rate that happens in this industry, and what I'm venturing to say is, no matter what you do, a certain amount of people are going to leave because it's not your issue. There's nothing you can do about it. They're not ready. They're not willing to do the work, and they're making excuses, flat out. And some of them will stick around and never do anything because the reason they're there is because they resonate with you. They don't have enough in their life to go, I really want to change that bad, because they may still have a comfortable job that keeps them from being in a lot of pain, and so they're not motivated a lot of the time. So what I would say is, have you watched the branding and positioning training that I did for the team like a month ago? Okay, Raymond, you need to watch that and talk to Matt and Max and everyone else about that. They're all shaking their head yes, because if you had watched that training, you wouldn't even have your logo or tagline said the way it does on your bar right there saying the Life Designer. And if you had gone through my training and you still had that, I would be ripping you a new one right now. But what I'm saying here is, you can't make this about you. And what you're doing is making this about you. You're saying, why can't I make them work better? The fact is, some of them are going to do it and some of them will not, and you've got to continue to focus on what you do best and your skill set, and continue to bring people in, because there's going to be a natural attrition rate, and that's just the way people are. Now, you can get better at how you target people through your value proposal and your topics, and starting to target people who may be in fields that are more professional, who are in niches that are more accomplished, right, in their fields of study. Those people have learned how to deal with pain, and they've been motivated to make themselves better, and so they don't make as many excuses for themselves. If you can get a corporate executive on board, they're not quitting. Why? Because they know that when things get tough, they get tougher. But most people are not like that, Raymond. And what you can't be the hero. You can't be the savior. I went through that. Trust me. It was painful. And I got down on myself, big time. And I realized it wasn't me. And here I was losing some momentum because Empower was having trouble with technical things, and it was causing a problem in my team, and people weren't having success, and I was blaming it on me. And I started to get down on myself. And I couldn't become the leader I needed to be to lead those people. So, for one, take care of yourself, be better yourself, and don't berate yourself or get down on yourself or blame yourself for the people that leave. You can't do that. Cut that energy away. You need all the energy you can to get momentum forward. 2, understand that some of those people are going to go anyway. 3, produce more. Period.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what Tracy says. Exactly. I mean, lead by example. And I don't really get down on myself. For people leaving, that's their choice if they want to leave.
Okay.
So and you know, like Aaron, like it's Dave teaches in the master's course, you have to be okay with other people's failure. It's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
and it's funny how Tracy says all the same things. You know, just because Matt told me that I need to drop more F-bombs here, I'll just say it. You know, like this shit ain't fucking rocket science.
Put it in this one I'm doing.
Okay. You know, I think Matt just fell out of his chair. All right. So, all right, let's get back to this. All right. So, the reason why your people stick around is because they resonate. I have people who have not done a friggin' thing the whole time that they've been in, have not sponsored one person, and they will not leave. Why? That. They stick around because they love the vision. They love the feeling. That's simple. And they will continue to stick around. So, the value proposal, which is your story and you illustrating how stuff works, is monumental and paramount to your funnel. It is the most important part, because once you have that, it's easy to take this and engineer a lead capture page that is based on your breakdown. Easy. The offer, the benefit, get it here. How to do this. Don't worry about all the experts that say, anatomy of a capture page. Let me show you the 30 elements that every capture page needs. Bullshit. Simple. Give them what you said you need to give them. Give them your breakdown and expand upon it. And do your best at making it real valuable. And explain yourself. If it takes 10 pages, so be it. Long copy works better than short copy every time. Every major marketer will always tell you that. So this value proposal, value proposition, is the most important part, because the rest is easy. Because at that point, you understand your story, your discovery, and your breakdown. You now have painted your vision of what you want. Right here in your story, your discovery, your unique take. That's your vision, right? You speak your vision again here, and you establish trust, and then you confirm with them you're a real person, and talk about the things you've done or your friends, and say it by first names, not last names. My friend Dave or whoever, so they can't go Google them, right? But don't worry too much about that, because that's actually not that big of a deal. Like most people think they have to have success or results in order to say, hey, look at me, I can help you. And that's not the case, because you can say, I got what the people have, I got it, and I can give it to you. I don't know if you can get it from them, but you can get it from me. See the difference? I'm here to help you. I'm in front of you right now. It's the same thing when I was a real estate agent, and I was like 23, 24, and one of the top real estate agents in town, in my city, pulled me aside at a meeting and was like, Chris, I overheard you talking to somebody else about how you were concerned that because you've had no results and you're so young, no one's going to take you credible or trust you because you're so young, or that you have any authority. You know what you're talking about. Yet you've been in this industry for a year and a half. You've studied under some of the best. You know more than most good realtors already. You know how to handle a deal. You know how to sell. Okay, so what's the deal? And he was like, I was like, okay, so, well, if I don't have all that, how am I going to be successful? And he said, the only thing that matters is that they trust you and they like you. That's it. If they know they can trust you and they ask you a question and you're real about it and you're like, you know what, I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to find out for you, and then you go prove that to them and come back to them and tell them the answer you got, that's you over here at your bridge video. Over here is like, hey, here's what I'm going to do for you, and you ask me the question, I'm going to go get it for you, I'm going to give you what you need. Oh, and by the way, I got that question answered for you. They trust you. They're going to be like, you know what, I'm going to use you because I can trust you. Same thing. Don't worry about results. The only people that are going to really hound you about results and say, how much have you made, are your friends. And you know what? Matt, here you go. Fuck them. You got it? All right?
Perfect. That was awesome. Perfect. I'm happy. The hangout is done. I don't care anymore.
And here is what, because I actually have a little bit piece of framework. We're going to go like 5 minutes over, but here's what I mean by fuck them, right?
Because at
Don't
the end of
even
the
worry about
day,
them first. You have to
Yeah.
go get results in your cold market and then come back to them because they know you and they know all your faults and everything else. And they know you from when you were younger and you used to do that dumb shit that you used to do, and they don't see you. They will never see you as credible. I have friends right now. I was just having a conversation with someone 2 nights ago that I've known since I was like 9, and we used to go to school together every day. We used to do everything together. One of my close friends, but he's a mechanic and he is in a different world and is not an entrepreneur and can't understand where I'm coming from, doesn't understand me, and knows all the dumb shit I used to do. And so although I'm making multiple 6 figures in this industry, he's like, yeah, but you're not going to have a retirement plan when you retire in 30 years. You're not going to be able to retire. I'm like, you dumbass, I'm going to have multiple income streams that are going to have me at multiple 6 figures every year residual. What are you going to do? You think your rule of 72 is really going to outdo that? And so I digress. But what I'm saying is the people that are really going to question you about your results are going to be your friends. And right now, don't worry about them. Go do it on the internet and then come back later. And if they, some of them will and most of them won't. That's it. That's why traditional network marketing doesn't work. That's why there's a 97% failure rate in traditional network marketing.
at the end of the day, it's not show friends, it's show business.
Exactly. I love that. I think I'm going to steal that. But by the way, Raymond, quick morsel for you. The Life Designer. I'm going to tell you what you should change that to, and then you're going to go watch that branding and positioning training. Matt's going to give that to you. And you can also go find it on my blog, chrisweschlow.com. I put the recording up there, and I took out all the crazy stuff that we laughed about for 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after, although that's great too, so you may want to watch that. But I broke down positioning and branding. And so go watch that, and then you'll understand why I gave you what I'm about to give you, which is not the Life Designer, but creator of the Life Design formula. And insert whatever else you feel comfortable with of the word formula. The Life Design strategy, application, whatever. The Life Design concept, the Life Design movement, whatever feels and resonates right for you. Doesn't matter. But then go watch that training, and then you'll understand why I gave you that.
Yeah, that's golden. I love that. The original concept was from truck driver to life designer, because I was a truck driver before I got started in Power. But I have a 20-year background in network marketing of no success or very little, and so yeah, I definitely fit the mold. That's why I've targeted specifically, network marketers, because I understand the industry. I understand the struggles. I understand what it feels like to have your sponsor trust his uplines so implicitly that they will, that when they leave a company to go join another one, habitually, they want to bring everyone else in the team with. And come on, it's like getting back to what you said. People join people, not companies. So yeah, I've experienced that. So yeah, I'll definitely implement those changes. After we get off the hangout here.
Well, and Raymond, you need both. It's not just your vision and value and what you stand for, but also you need to have something that works for them. That at least feels they can work. That's giving them progress. And for a while we didn't have that in Empower, so that could be some of what happened there. But at the end of the day, I would not beat myself up about all that and how that happens, because you know what? That's the industry. I've learned how to curb a lot of that by targeting quality people, but there's not many of them. Like I said, I've made $250,000 in Empower Network, results not typical, with sponsoring 115 people. Doesn't make any sense. And I've sponsored quality people that have grown into producers and leaders.
Did we just freeze? Rush. Come on, man! I'm joking. No.
We might have lost, probably lost Chris there for a second.
No. No. Damn, dude, I got like 3 pages of notes. Like this is some of the best stuff. Like, damn it, I wanted to see the grand finale. Like, you know, what happens at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Let's see here. Good night, Pat interrupt. Hope everyone's enjoying the show.
You got too fired up, man. That's what happened. It was too much information. It blew the Google servers. It was just.
Let me see if I can
Sharing
get back on.
He's still here though, right? Or is he gone?
I don't know, Chris. If you can hear us, I'm gonna try and send you the link again, cause
Zombie.
Yeah, so, I mean,
So what have we all learned so far tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
So I feel I just know this is that every time Chris Rushlow jumps on the bus, dude, my head explodes from information. And I've got the prettiest little thing that I drew here for. I got it colored and everything. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, so-
made a 6-figure shortcut upsell. I don't know where this person's coming from.
High five. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you. Well, you know what probably happened is it was probably somebody that you sent a link to for this, and they said, "Fuck yeah, I want to."
Oh yeah, you're probably right. That makes sense. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, they went from this to the iPass video. But for those of you guys that are watching this, and this may be your first time on us with a Hangout, you could have gotten a link from anybody on this panel here or somebody else. Just realize this: we are a group of the not 6-figure income earners yet, but we attract all the 6-figure income earners to our group.
We do.
They really like us because they see our drive and our determination, and we go after what we want. And we basically, you know, let's just put it this way: there's a huge difference between people that just talk about wanting to be successful and let's just put it. I was told a long time ago, it's just basically actions speak way louder than words, you know, and we are a group, you know, in the black here, it's like we're a group of you know, we all come from different backgrounds, just, you know, lifestyle points all over the planet, you know, sponsors, everything else, and we kind of found each other and formed this group, and this is kind of like the brain trust of us, and just know this, is that this isn't just like a tonight and tonight only thing. This is an every Wednesday thing. Like we attract some of the best leaders in this industry to not just, you know, teach us, but to teach everybody else here.
You all still there?
Yeah, bro.
He came back.
I was jonesing. I was like, "Where's Chris Rush, man? I need my fix."
He's like talking, and then we're gonna.
And then it was this. And then I was like, "Oh, what happened? Does he die? You know, does he get to kiss the girl? You know what I mean? Does what happens to Anakin? You know what I mean? How does
Oh my God, that's awesome, Max. I love you.
that was massive pattern interrupt.
Pattern interrupt.
Oh,
It was like, all right,
we're gonna do this.
So what were the last 2 sentences that I said?
yes, by now.
It was by now join. It was by now get in the black, join our team, and then you're set. And then you get on
Okay, we're
the
done.
network, and you get to access Chris Rushlow. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple.
Okay, we're done.
Wait, but we didn't get to see this whole other thing that you drew. Like, I think you were going from yeah, and then there's these other boxes that appeared.
Yeah. So, yeah, the last thing there, what I was talking about, I don't exactly remember, but I'm just going to jump right into this stuff. Because this is what matters. This is what I came here to teach you guys tonight.
Yeah.
So, last concept will be done in 10 minutes. You guys cool with that?
Cool.
All right. So, throughout this whole process, what do systems normally promise as a front-end conversion on the average in the network marketing industry or affiliate companies? 2 to 4%, right? That's normally what you see. 4% is really, really good. And for a time, Empower was doing 4, and then we had some issues, and then we even went back to like 1.43 or something like that for a while, and then we're jumping back up, way back up again. Now, here's the cool thing. That's for a system responsive thing, okay? That's system.
Is that on a recruiting basis? I mean, you know, okay, so it's not a lead capture basis. It's
right. So out of every 100 leads that you have, you're going to with a system, you're going to do about a 2 to 4% front-end conversion rate. Make sense? So sorry, that's not on all the people, but that's on the leads that you get. So for every 100 leads, front-end conversions on a working system is going to do 2 to 4%. Do you want to know what I have found with personality-based funnels that do not have just the system, but my value proposition and all my stuff and my landing page and my bridge video going to a sales video does?
10%.
No
Beast-
way.
Beast mode.
Huh?
That's on my best funnels. My worst funnels? That is still double what the best a system can offer.
That's a guy.
As a dearly departed friend in Empower used to say, breakthrough.
So now, forget those numbers for right now. Here's what I'm going to tell you. These numbers are going to be similar, but do not relate them to the last numbers that I gave you, because this is different. That's out of 100 people. Now, out of the people that are ever going to join you, which is probably going to be, from a system, 2 to 4% follow-ups for 30 days is going to probably get you about 6 to 10%, depending on how good your email follow-ups and values are and your blog posts. So out of every 100 people, if you're really, really, really good, you can do like 6 to 10 people out of 100 of all your leads, if you're really good with a working system. And I did that for a while. Now, if you do a personality-based system, if you look at those numbers, what that means is 10 to 15% are going to join you going through this process to here. So they hit exposure number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or just if they go to something you're running paid ads to a value proposal, or they see this first, 4 exposures, 10 to 15% of the people that will ever join you are going to join you here. Why is it that most people stop right there? I don't know. Here's what I found. The 85 to 90% of the people that will ever join you over 90 days are going to join you through the follow-up exposures. So it's crucial that you know how to do these. Okay?
So is that a strong argument for a 90-day follow-up sequence?
No, not necessarily. Because if you are, in a way, because here's how you do this. Here's how Dave did it. He wrote a blog post, and then he emailed his list that blog post every day. Now, the first 4 or 5 exposures were actually strategically crafted because they have to give people the right information that they maybe didn't get through all of this stuff, or that the sales video didn't clarify for them, because we are human beings and we don't retain 100% of everything we see, hear, and read, right? So these exposures fill in those gaps. Now, after the first 4 to 7 exposures that are normally FAQs, clarifications, social proof, stories of others, incentives and bonuses to join, that type of stuff. I'm going to break that out in a second. Then you start emailing them all your blog posts, which is just more of your value propositions and your topics that get them more acquainted with you and keep you at top of mind awareness to where they eventually choose to join. It may be that where they're at in their life at the moment, they're not really ready to join, and there's nothing you can do about that. But if you're in front of them for the next 30 days, and all of a sudden 30 days from now, life circumstances have changed a little bit, and now they're motivated, and they're like, you know what? I've been getting emails from this guy for the last month, and I know he's doing something here, and I've seen that it works, but now I'm ready. Because if you watch the top producer formula, Dave talks about that clock where people are at noon, high noon, and then they go down and they're at 3 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock they're ready to join something else because they're not happy. Okay? Cycles. There's a summer, spring, fall, and winter in everything. Spring, summer, fall, winter. In everything, including this business cycle, including the company, including what you're doing, including your business cycle. There's always going to be a winter for you. Even when you're having success, there's going to be a time when your income will dip. Mine did. And then it's gone up, and then it's dipped again, gone up, and it's done it quite a few times. This helps alleviate some of that and maximizes the amount of leads that join you. So, last few minutes, break down what this is.
Just as long as those and just as long as those hills and valleys follow an uphill trend, right?
Well, that's how it always grows. It grows kind of like this. You know, kind of goes down, but then it's growing like that. So, anyways, but yeah, you're right, Rand. So, what we have here is your first exposure is going to be essentially a clarification or an FAQ, right? Normally, like what worked for my team, autoresponder really well, was questions about Empower Network, question mark, right? And so FAQ, the point of this is to give clarification. These are all the FAQs that even Empower offered. And you just clarify, like, hey, what do I have to do to join? How much does it cost? Do I get to, you know, how does the comp plan work? All these things that some people just need the facts in order to understand everything before they make a decision. It's actually about 12% of the population. They need to know every fact. It's crazy. But other people, they just need a few questions answered, and they're ready to go. So the first one's going to be clarification. Real simple. After that, it's going to be social proof. So it's going to be a story of someone successful. Story of success. And it's going to be what we accomplished there is social proof, which is by far the most powerful element you can ever do in any sales process whatsoever. And that's why even if you're successful, talking about social proof in your story about other people makes it even better, and I've tested it. Okay?
I'm sorry, Chris. You were breaking up a little bit. But my question on the social proof is it better to give both someone who's been in a while and also an example of someone who's just joined and just having success, or does it really make a difference?
To give them what? I don't understand. I guess I didn't hear all that. The difference between someone who just got started and someone who's been in for a while. What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean. If in giving social proof, I'm thinking that for someone who's just looking at Empower Network, if I gave social proof of someone who's having success and just got started, that would be a stronger psychological bond.
Okay, so I got you. So this is going to go a few minutes past what I promised because I didn't anticipate the questions from Raymond, but they're very good questions. So guys, this is what this simply is. The more relatable your success story is, the better. When I started telling people I was making $20,000 a month, which I was, people couldn't relate to that. I had people email me like, "You're full of shit," because they couldn't accept it. They were like, "Yeah, right." It was outside of their reality. Then I started talking about someone who had their first $1,600 day, someone who just got started in their first 30 days. Sales started coming in. So it's more relatable to talk about the new person, and how the newer the story of how quickly they had success, the better. For here. Now you can have other success stories later following up, is fine. You can do human interest stories on blog posts about success stories of others all day long and then send them your blog post. That's fine. But what matters is the social proof here that seems relatable, that someone who's brand new can be like, gosh, if they did it, I can do it. That's simple. That's the psychological. I need to be able to know that this can work for me. That's what they're thinking about here. Because here they're like, okay, now I know it works. And some people are ready to join because they believe in themselves. But some people are like, well, this really worked for me. You see, they haven't gotten to the point or had the revolution in their mind about, I'm going to make this work, not will this work for me. See, they're taking their personal power back and realizing that the power's in their own hands. No matter what it is, they're going to make it work. That's what an entrepreneur and a leader does. The new person may not be there yet. And that's okay. We need to bring them through that process. That's what we do. We raise people up as leaders. So if they're here, we need to bring them through that and say, look, the new person did it too, just like you. And they go, oh, this can work for me, just like it worked for that person. If they can do it, I can do it. Boom, done. These two exposures are going to get you like 30% of the total 100% that'll ever join. So at this point, you're at like 40 to 45% of the people that ever join, almost half after these two. Because these two elements, clarification and social proof, are the two most important elements you can always repeat as much as possible. Okay? Third one. Now they're like, all right, this could work for me, but they're not totally convinced yet. So you give them an incentive. Here, you offer a bonus, which this accomplishes the incentive. This is a value lever that is known really well to tip people over the edge at the right time. Offer them an incentive and give them a bonus. It may be something that somebody else did, and I'm going to give you a bonus about this person who trains on this. I can't do this, I'm good at this, but this helps you if you like to do this. This person does training on, you know, solo ads or whatever, right? I'm going to give you this bonus as well on another way to build your business. Bonus and incentives. And follow it up with, you sweeten the deal even more, and you're essentially going to do another bonus. And if you can, what's smart is some type of price justification. So you're going to add on more stuff, or if you can, do a price reduction, which with some systems you can't do that, right? But here is going to be basically another bonus or price reduction, depending on your thing, and all that is another incentive. So it's just getting better and better. And what you've done is a condition in it that, wow, it's getting better and better. So I clarified it. Now I know how this really works. Can this work for me? Okay, if this person can do it, then I can do it. Now they're giving me a bonus. Now that looks really good. I don't know yet. Another bonus? Oh, dang, I can't pass that up now. That's it.
Taking notes.
Boom! Shakalaka.
So here's what I have for you guys. You guys have 2 more minutes. Can I get a yes or a no? Or?
Yeah.
What was that?
What were you
Is
saying?
that a go,
Okay.
or was that like that was go, right? It was like
Yeah.
That was awesome. As usual.
Okay, so take a picture, snap, take a picture, whatever, or, you know, get this later from the recording. I'm about to erase this. Hurry up. All right.
Got it.
Here's what I have for you.
Oh, it's gone.
It's okay. You can get it from the video, right?
Yeah.
So this type of stuff I know can be a little overwhelming for people. This type of stuff can be a lot. Now, what my wish and hope for you to do is that some of you are going to go out and take all of this and take notes like you did and follow your notes and create a funnel. Cool. Some of you have some challenges to that, like you don't have the technical knowledge to set that up. I have a solution for you. 2, you may be able to get started on this, but then you need to have someone look at it so that you're not wasting your money when you finally choose to go and put this whole funnel into action. And you may have someone who wants to take a second look and go, hey, you created all the elements you needed to in your bridge video. Or, you know what, we need to make sure you have all these elements in your story. You need to know how to be able to do that and get better at it. So this is something I'm offering special for Matt's team. I haven't offered this publicly anywhere, and I haven't even offered this yet to my own team. I'm giving you guys first dibs at it. But this email that's going to go out to my team for the same offer for $100 more is going to be tomorrow. So you need to get to me right away if you want to have this done soon.
Yes.
Here's what I've got for you. If you want a fully done funnel built for you, real simple. $897. Everything done. I'll even host it for you, and you pay $20 a month hosting on my dedicated server that loads super fast. I'll do this for you guys. I can't do it for a lot of people, and at some point I'm going to totally close this off because I can't have too many, but I'll take the first people that really want to do it. Just like that. And I'll even do half of that now and half upon completion. Send me an email, real simple, chris@chrisrushlow.com. Let me know, and I'll send you the pertinent stuff. 2, that's for the people that don't have any solutions and they need hosting, they need to be able to set all this up, and we'll essentially have you write your value proposal, and I'll give you all the elements and an outline of all this stuff on how to do this, and then I'll work with you on it. You're going to get a couple hours of coaching with that. Okay? We'll make it work. 2, for those of you that know how to create stuff, have hosting, know how to do it on your WordPress blog, whatever the case may be, you want to have your story, you want to have a lead page done, you want to do your bridge video, but you know how to do all that stuff. You just need help with the messaging. You just need help with the copy. You just need help with getting this all set up, and me need to ask you the right questions so that we get you clear on your market and then how to actually attack them and be able to engage with them, right? If you need that, that's simple. My coaching is normally $800 an hour. I did a special deal for certain people and my team that's at $497 right now because I found that I started working with a lot of people and they started having success, and I have clients that do this in other niches and industries, and I'm having fun doing it. So I want to do some more of it right now. So that's why I'm doing this. But what I'm going to do specially for you guys, because there's a lot of people that are in my downline that are even in this team, and I want to be able to reach out and be able to still help them in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of people here, for Matt and Max and everyone else, that are in their downline. I want to be able to help them make money with their downline. So what I'll do, if people are building their own stuff, taking these notes and building their own funnel, but they just need me to go look at it and give, you know, an hour at a time of coaching and just clarification, best price I've ever given anybody, only for you guys tonight. That's simple. I'm not bullshitting you. I've never done this low. $397 per hour. Chris at chrisrushlow.com. That's simple. No hard sell. I just want to help you guys. Anybody want to take advantage of that? There you go. That's your options. $897, half up front, half upon completion.
There you go, Chris.
Send me an email, buddy. That's simple, guys. Matt, Max, John, Raymond, you guys are awesome. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you letting me come out and help you. I just want to see you guys do well, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, brother.
Chris, you know,
That was awesome thing. Very cool.
Chris, from the bottom of my heart to the tips of my toes, and from my family, because I know that this information is going to help all of that, and you know, it's going to help me change a lot of lives. I am eternally grateful for you, and I will see you in Vegas, my brother.
You're welcome, Raymond, and it's my honor to help, bro. And I just want to see you do better, man. And go watch that other training, and you'll understand why I gave you the new tagline for you, and you'll love it. And that'll transform your business, man.
Now, you said you took the previous training and put it on your blog. Is that that's not the systems-based following versus personality-based following?
Going further down, it's the blog post below that. There's
five levels.
I sent you the link in Facebook, the Facebook message, so you'll see
All
it
right.
in there.
Yeah.
All right,
There's three. There's personality-based following. There's 5 levels of awareness, and then there's the art of story selling, which you need to go watch. It's going to help you with your value proposal, right? Those 3, and then the blog below that is going to be the training that I did for Matt and everybody a month ago.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, the art of story selling. I have that, or is it? Well, anyway, Matt put it in.
If you scroll down to the bottom, yeah, it's like something about what you did not know about branding and positioning, or something like that.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you appreciate a lot of F-bombs, but there were a lot more of them in that one.
Way more. Oh, tons. It was great.
Sweet.
But they were perfectly placed F-bombs to accentuate. They weren't like ignorant F-bombs. It was just like, I'm not even going to ruin it for you, bro. You know what I mean? No spoiler alerts on this
Let's
one.
go watch it.
And wait till you guys see Matt D's funnel in about a week, because we're going to help him build one too. So you guys will like that one too, and we'll show you results on that in case studies.
Yeah, because I have lead pages, so I'm going to be implementing all of this.
Perfect. Yeah, just use that structure, man. With your lead pages, you can do all 3 of these pages real easily. You can do a value proposal on a long copy capture page, where you have a sandwich where you have the opt-in up top and the opt-in at the bottom as well after the story.
Okay. Awesome.
I can help you with that if you want. So
That's
all right.
This is great. I love when you come on, Rush. This is so like seriously, you have no idea. Matt was like, Rush is gonna help us. I was like, fuck yeah! Like I was like a kid. I was like, Rush love. Rush love.
I think John was gonna say something. What was John? I think you had something to say. You keep getting cut off.
Seriously, Max was like a kid locked in a candy store overnight. It was like, I mean,
Rush Part 2. Literally, wait.
I mean, yeah, he made
like Rush. Wait, where is it? It was like Rush Part 2. Fuck yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, you should have seen it, Chris. Max made Cornholio look like he was, actually calm. Actually looked like he was on Ritalin.
Yeah, see, me and Max, we have a little bromance going on, so that should be continued.
That's funny. Don't kill me.
Yeah.
I see that, Max.
That's the beauty part about me. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth, and usually 9 times out of 10, it's hilarious.
So guys, one last thing here for you. You'll love this. How many of you are familiar with my Next Level Mastermind Intensive?
Duh.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Okay. So
Sign up for it. Just sign up for it. Just sign up for it. Sign up for it.
it's
Sign
not
up
even
for
public. Well, go to chrisrushlow.com and get on the list for when we announce the new dates for the next Level Mastermind Intensive. But the reason I'm telling you that is not to pitch that, but simply this. I took all of this and I used that to promote the Next Level Mastermind Intensive. I had a week to make it happen or cancel the event. I got on and put it all together and did the presentation, did all this stuff, and told them that I was going to teach them all this. Doing this formula, in that one day, I sold $27,000 worth of tickets to that event. And over the next 3 days, we totaled $36,000. This. People paid $3,000 to go there and get their bridge video done, their stories done, their full funnel done. Copy for their capture page. $3,000. You can get almost all of that in one of these two. There you go. That's it. That's all I got. Love you.
Chris, man, that was awesome. Thanks for everything. Those are incredible offers, and I can tell people immediately that is incredible value. So you guys should really take advantage of that. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And you guys will see the work that Matt has done with his. You're gonna love that.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. But Chris, man, like seriously, thanks for coming on, bro. You also helped me get like 2 iPad sales, by the way, so appreciate you, man.
Whatever we got to do.
There you go. Yeah, I got nothing else. I'm good to go. It was great. I can't say anything. I'm like, shit, it was awesome. Once again, we're all like, fuck, it was great. Damn.
Yeah. Speechless.
Had you been taught this stuff before, this is the only difference between my results and your results right now. That's all I really know. A little bit more, but it doesn't matter when it comes to this. I got you everything right here. And there's a lot more to it when you get into it, but we didn't have time for all of that right now. But you've got something to work with. You can go write your story, your value proposition. Go watch that stuff on my blog, the System Personality, 5 Levels of Awareness, and the Art of Story Selling, that 5-point hack. I go in 40 minutes, I explain how to do a story, which is all of your value proposal right there. Done. That saves you $397. That saves you an hour of me BSing with you for 10 minutes, teaching you for 40 minutes, and BSing with you again at the end for 10 minutes, which makes 60 minutes.
I love your BSing. It's great. It's worth the $397.
Hey, you always need the BS.
Often, a lot of times, people can learn more during the BS than they can do at the actual coaching.
Yeah.
I didn't even plan on selling this all this way. I didn't even set up buy buttons or pages for you to go to like I should as a marketer if I had this offer set up for you. But I didn't even know what I was going to offer yet until I got into this. And as I got to the end of it, I realized what I needed to do for you guys. So just send me an email, and I'll send you, tell me what you want, and this package or this package, and I'll send you an invoice, and we'll go from there. Chris at chrisrushlow.com.
Cool.
All right, guys. Glad I could help.
And then Chris, I'll be in touch with you. Everyone else, that's it. Now you got the offer. You see the button that says Get in the Black now. Click the button below. See you guys inside. Get in the Black. Good night.